Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 American submarine, the Balao. We're playing a random battle on the map Islands of Ice. And of course it's Tier 8 to 10. Submarines are now in random battles. In fact, you can apparently make divisions with submarines. Oh boy, that is not going to be abused at all. Anyway, as a submarine, my goal is to try to position myself in a way where I get to torpedo the enemy ships. I'd particularly like to target the cruisers and some of the battleships. I'd also like to more or less avoid the enemy submarine, because that tends to not go so well for, well, either of us, to be honest, because we'd be dunked on by all of the ASW planes that are everywhere. Okay, we are almost in range of the Iowa, especially because she is sailing closer. We're gonna just dump all of the torps and then turn our boat around, and then dump torps from behind us, from the rear launcher. Let's see, what does the Iowa do? I'm not gonna ping yet. I want the torpedoes to get closer. I monitor them on the minimap. Just gonna chill, more or less here. I mean, we have the cap zone, so things are looking good. I need to ping the Iowa. And I'm gonna keep my ping on the Iowa. Wait, I just realized I might not have any captain skills. Oh, whoops. Wait, he actually damage control partied at this time before the torpedoes even got close. I guess they must have been spotted by something else. And so she damage control partied early, but this means the rear torps, though, should be able to be pretty useful. If they can hit, of course. Ah, I missed. And I think the torps will hit before the before I could ping again. So I don't recommend doing what the Iowa did, which is to damage control party early. At least not if you're trying to avoid the torpedoes. You should damage control party once the torps are really close. Otherwise you just end up eating floodings, which is exactly what happened to that Iowa. Also, blindly dropping ASW planes is actually a good idea. That's something I do recommend doing. Okay, we're gonna have to actually hide, because we're being radared by the Salem, I think. Oh, come on! It's a stationary Iowa, so the torpedoes missed. That's a little unfortunate. And she's not flooding anymore, so she's not actually going to die. I think I do have captain skills because I have the detection range thing.
All stations requesting fire on the designated target.
I'm gonna pop out now. That way we will be blocking the cap. This is actually one aspect I really like about submarines, because I like the fact that submarines can and will cap, or at least contest caps. Because, well, see, radar and the destroyer contesting a cap means that if you get suddenly spotted, you're completely screwed. But as a submarine, you can dive, so you're not immediate, like your game doesn't immediately end. I wonder if I launch torps like this, will they curve back on the Iowa? Or is the angle too bad? I mean, there should be enough distance, right? They should be able to curve back on the Iowa. I guess we'll find out. Oh, yeah, they can curve. Oh, Iowa, you are so screwed. Oh my god. Wow. Goodbye. Now this is why I like the tracking torpedoes. Because I like the fact that we can do new types of shots that we couldn't before. Like that's I think really cool. I hope these torps can actually reach the Bismarck. They might not, because the Bismarck is reversing and she'll accelerate at one point, right? Oh, come on, she's also used damage control party. But anyway, the Bismarck is reversing and is gonna accelerate, and she might get into a position where the torpedoes have to turn too much and just will run out, because they only have 12-kilometer range. Yeah, no, those torpedoes are never going to hit anything other than the island. Even if the Bismarck somehow goes around the island so that the torpedoes don't hit the island, they would run out, right? They would never actually arrive at the target. But we have another target right there. Hello, Mojami. Wait, no, we should turn the other way. Actually, we probably don't need to even try to torp the Mogami. And these torpedoes are never gonna hit anything. In fact, we should probably target the Bismarck, because they're incredibly unlikely to ever run into the Mogami properly. They might reach the Bismarck though, although that also seems somewhat unlikely. Double ping, excellent. Let's see, no. Dang it! Now, you might look at this and go, wow, submarines are just completely and utterly bullshit. And I kinda agree, in that the main way that you need to fight submarines is you need to be able to see them. So you either need a CV or a submarine of your own. And clearly the enemy has 2 submarines, but they just didn't come where I was. Like, they went another way. And because of that, I basically had free reign. It's kind of like, imagine you're playing a battleship and you're fighting an enemy team that has a destroyer there, and you don't have a destroyer of your own. That's effectively what's happening. Of course you're gonna get screwed, because, you know, they have a destroyer and you don't. Will the ping arrive? Oh, it did for the second one. Goodbye. Okay, let's see if we can torp some Johan de Witts and maybe some Salems. In fact, I would really like it if the torps maybe weren't as fast as they are, but instead they had more range, so they would be able to do more of this curving and homing stuff. I do think, though, that the homing and curving has to be reduced on... No, not reduced, but the torps should disengage tracking at a closer distance. No, at a longer distance on destroyers. Like, it's fine with battleships where it works at 2.4 kilometers is where they stop homing. But I think on destroyers, they do need to stop homing a lot earlier than 240 meters only. Wait, can they even turn on the Johan here? I think we don't even want to torp the Johan de Witt here. In fact, we should probably target the Tallinn instead. Stop turning, Tallinn. It's difficult to aim when you turn. Okay, she has used damage control party, so let's launch all of the rest of our torpedoes, because she won't have damage control party for the follow-ups. Oh, she has used radar, huh? Well, I guess we'll dive. And we should have some planes incoming. I am really glad that Wargaming actually gave ASW to every ship, or almost every ship. This is something I really requested, because I think it's really BS when one team gets ASW and the other one just didn't in ranked battles. Especially when you can just avoid them most of the time. And at least right now, players are pretty bad at, you know, avoiding torps. Like this guy. Goodbye. I do think players are eventually going to learn how to avoid these torpedoes, but we're not there yet. like what he just did, damage control party immediately, makes no sense because your damage control party lasts for like 5 seconds. Okay, never mind. Maybe it does make sense here. We'll see, but I think Soyuz is gonna regret this in a bit. Anyway. We have another target right there. We should probably ping him first. So, to make sure that the torps actually track. Also, the Soyuz actually completely dodged the torpedoes. Like, she just went WAST and the torps never landed. Hello, Soyuz. Would you like some more torpedoes? I'm gonna angle completely differently on these torpedoes. That way they're more likely to... Never mind, she's actually completely dead. And these torpedoes cannot reach the Grossocophus, so we can probably just ignore them. Actually, I think the game's over. Yeah, it looks very over. And hey, we never met the enemy submarines. It seems that both of theirs died in our base, kinda doing the same what I did, but, well, clearly my team was able to take care of them. I mean, not an amazing game, but it absolutely showed how devastating a submarine can be if she is completely unopposed. The enemy just did not play together. They were effectively the only... like, they came at us, and it was the Iowa, and then the rest of them were basically just running away and doing a pretty poor engagement with us. But, I mean, look at this, right? Sure, I sank 3 ships, but that Friedrich der Grosse sank 4. And got a lot more XP too. Wow, we actually only hit an Iowa, Tallinn, and Bismarck. Wow, we sank all 3 targets that we actually hit. But we did get half the capture points, so there's that. But since there were no destroyers, that obviously would fall on us. By the way, look at that. 200 base XP, 800 base XP. Literally number 1 and number 12. Now we can find out whether we have captain skills and upgrades. Do we? We do! Excellent! So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support. And I hope I'll see you guys next time.